People don't just get lost in the woods, they get taken, and sometimes the forest never gives them back. Daniel was 28, experienced. He texted, "Should be back before dark." It was his last message. Searchers found his backpack folded neatly on a rock. His phone and wallet were inside, but something was missing. His boots were gone. It was as if he had simply stepped out of them and walked into the silence. The tracking dogs refused to follow his scent past a certain tree line. They just whined and turned back. On the third night, a voice crackled, "I'm still here." But when they searched, there was nothing. Daniel is one of many who vanish in what's called missing 411, cases that defy logic. Next time the woods go quiet, don't assume you're alone. Silence isn't always empty.
It started with a noise in the hallway. At first, I thought I was dreaming. The kind of sound that sits on the edge of your hearing until you're forced to wake up. It wasn't loud, just a soft, rhythmic shuffle, like someone dragging heavy wool socks across the floorboards outside my bedroom door. I froze in bed, my breath hitching in my throat, staring at the thin, dark crack under the door. Nothing moved. The silence was heavy, pressing against my ears. Then a tap, single, deliberate, right on the wood. I sat up slowly, my heart starting to thud against my ribs. "Hello?" I asked, my voice barely a whisper. Silence. I waited for an eternity, then laughed nervously, trying to force the fear back down. I told myself it was just the house settling.
There's a trail in Oregon that doesn't appear on any official map, but hikers still find it. And once they step on it, some of them don't come back the same. In 2017, a woman named Rachel went hiking with 2 friends near a national forest. They were experienced, prepared, no reason for concern. But Rachel noticed something strange. A narrow path, perfectly cleared, like someone maintained it.
I live alone, top floor, no neighbors above me, no one should be at my door. But every night at exactly 3:13 a.m., someone knocks. Not once, not twice, always 3 times. And I made one rule: never open the door after the second knock. The first time it happened, I thought it was a prank. Knock, 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 I ignored it. The next night, it came again. Same time, same pattern. But on the third night, I checked the peephole. Nothing. Just empty hallway, flickering light, buzzing silence. Then the silence broke like glass. There was something on the other side. Knock, knock. I jumped back because the second knock didn't come from the door. It came from inside my closet. I froze, didn't move, didn't breathe. Then my phone lit up. Unknown number, 1 message. You broke the rule by listening. I looked up. The closet door was now slightly open, just a crack. Darkness inside, but something was breathing. Then, a cold breath brushed against the floor as I looked toward the closet. The closet slammed open by itself, empty, but the mirror inside the door was showing something behind me. In the mirror, I saw myself standing still, but I was already sitting on the bed, smiling. Slowly, the reflection lifted its hand and knocked once on the mirror. Knock. Then it leaned forward and whispered, "Only 1 knock left." I ran for the door, grabbed the handle. My hand froze because from inside the door, I heard it. Knock, knock. But I never got to hear the third. Something grabbed me. There was no escaping the dark.
In the United States alone, thousands of people vanish every year in the wilderness. No footprints, no struggle, no explanation, but there's a pattern, and investigators call it Missing 411, and this case might be one of the most disturbing. It was supposed to be a simple hiking trip. A young man, experienced, prepared, entered a national forest alone. He told friends he'd be back before sunset, but he never returned. Search teams arrived within hours. Dogs were brought in. Helicopters scanned the area, but something was wrong. The trail just stopped. No broken branches, no signs of panic, just silence. Then a search dog stopped dead in its tracks, refused to move forward, and started whimpering at nothing. Nothing visible, nothing there. Hours turned into days, and then something unusual happened. A ranger reported finding the man's backpack, folded neatly, placed on a rock. No mud, no damage, no signs of struggle. Inside it, everything was untouched. Phone, wallet, water, but no person. Even more disturbing, the GPS device inside the backpack showed the final signal, deep in a location search teams say was impossible to reach on foot. Deep in a location search teams say was impossible to reach on foot. And then came the radio transmission. A search team member heard something through static, a voice, faint, breathing. Then, "I'm still here." The search was expanded for weeks, but the man was never found. No body, no evidence, no answers, just another case added to the list of missing 411. But here's what investigators won't say out loud. Ninjas, these disappearances don't happen randomly. They happen in clusters, always near water, always in remote forests, and always without explanation. And some people believe whatever is taking them is still out there, watching, waiting.
I was home alone that night. Or at least, I thought I was. The house was completely silent. The air felt heavy, like I was being watched from the shadows, until I heard the front door unlock. I froze. My parents weren't supposed to be home for hours. I called out, "Hello?" No answer. Then I heard footsteps, slow, deliberate, coming from the kitchen. I grabbed my phone and checked the security camera app. All cameras showed empty rooms, except one, the hallway camera. It showed the front door, slightly open. I walked toward the hallway. The air felt colder the closer I got. Then I saw it. The front door wasn't just open, it was wide open, and muddy footprints led inside. But here's what made my stomach drop. The footprints weren't coming in. They were pacing, back and forth, like someone was still inside, waiting. Then my phone buzzed. A notification from the security app. New motion detected inside bedroom. I wasn't near the bedroom. I slowly turned around. The long, dark hallway was completely empty. There was nothing there, but my bedroom door was now closed. I never closed it. A shadow loomed on the wall, something tall and unnatural. I couldn't move. Then came a sound from inside. A phone vibrating. My phone, still in my hand. But the handle slowly started to turn. And right before it opened, then a notification appeared on my screen. "Why are you watching me?" I didn't move. Neither did the door. The handle turned. The door creaked. And then, total silence. My security camera app switched itself on. Every camera in the house showed the same thing. Me, standing in the hallway, recording from somewhere I couldn't see.
They said the house had been empty for years. But every night at exactly 2:17 a.m., the lights would turn on, and the neighbors would hear something worse than silence. Screaming. From a family that no longer lived there. It was a quiet neighborhood, the kind where nothing ever happens. The Carter family moved in during the spring. 2 parents, 2 children, a fresh start. At first, everything seemed normal. Barbecues in the garden, school runs, morning routines. But the neighbors noticed something strange. The children stopped playing outside. The curtains never opened. And at night, the house was never dark. One night, a neighbor called the police. They reported screaming. When officers arrived, the house was silent, too silent. The front door was unlocked. Inside, everything was still in place. Dinner on the table, TV still playing, 4 sets of plates. But the family was gone. No signs of forced entry, no struggle. There was just total absence. Investigators found something strange in the basement. Scratch marks on the walls, small handprints leading downward, and a message written in dust on the floor. "We never left." That night, security cameras were installed. At 2:17 a.m., they recorded something impossible. All the lights turned on. Every door in the house opened at once. And at the end of the hallway, a shadow stood still for exactly 7 seconds, then vanished. The house was demolished a week later, but the recordings still exist. And every so often, people report seeing a family standing in the windows, waving, waiting, as if the house is still full. And the worst part? The land is empty, but the lights still turn on at 2:17 a.m.
I was browsing a Reddit thread about the dark web when someone posted a link. No title, no warning, just 3 words. Do not click. I clicked it anyway. The page didn't look like a normal site. No images, no text, just a countdown timer. And a message that kept repeating, "You are being watched." In the Reddit comments, people were arguing. Some said it was fake. Others said it was a red room, a rumored live stream hidden on the dark web where people pay to watch things you're not supposed to see. But one comment stood out. If the timer starts, it already saw your IP. I refreshed the page. The timer changed. Now it had my city, then my street name. I tried to close it. The tab wouldn't shut. A new message appeared. Why are you leaving? Then something worse. A live video window opened. It was my room, but slightly wrong. Like it was being recorded from somewhere I couldn't see. I checked my camera settings. My webcam light turned on by itself. I unplugged it. It stayed on. Then a chat box appeared on the screen. No username. Just, "We can still see you." The Reddit thread I found it on, gone, deleted. Every user who commented, wiped, except one final comment posted seconds before deletion. It doesn't come from the dark web. The dark web comes from it. The screen finally went black, but the timer didn't disappear. It reset and started counting down again. 09:59, and this time, it wasn't on my phone. It was on the wall behind me,